Hello everyone, I am a little bit late because a rather big surprise happened on Sunday. A reveal was showcased and it wasn't the Beastmen to come next, but the Wood Elves. This is something that goes against the roadmap that we actually got last year. In fact, multiple articles did confirm that the Beastmen were going to be next, followed by the Wood Elves, and then as per this roadmap that you can see, which is now outdated, something was supposed to come after. Those of you who have played Total War know that it's Grand Cathay, and some people were thinking that we're going to see Cathay next year, but it does look like things are ramping up, so I expect Grand Cathay very much maybe around mid to late next year. So let's talk about a few things first. I do wonder why the Beastmen were delayed, it seems. Maybe there was an issue with a book, maybe there was just an issue with a model. There is a lot of returning stuff and even some Forge World stuff, so I can imagine that the logistics around that can be kind of difficult. Now the Wood Elves are first, and it does look like they're coming out in full force, with basically everything being confirmed of what's arriving. We know that there's basically no new units at this point. There might be some stuff in the Arcane Journal, but those usually end up being Kit Bash troopers. But seeing as prices are already being revealed, seeing as some shops get early access to the order list so they can do some stock orders, it does look like a lot of Wood Elves are coming out for the very beginning. There might be a second wave, or everything might be thrown out all at once, with a big number of them being online only. The High Elves and the special frogs from the Storm of Magic days are also getting a release at around this time too. So what does this mean for the immediate future? Well, there's a few things that need to be discussed. Beastmen, I imagine, either have gotten a very long delay or they're going to have to come in shortly after. Normally it's what, a month and a half to 3 months per faction, but yeah, could be faster if they're trying to get everything out relatively quickly. And I don't imagine that the Specialist Design Studio wants to waste too much time. This is because we are aware at this point that a new edition of Horus Heresy is on the way. The Specialist Design Studio are both for Horus Heresy and also the Old World alongside the minor games too. But the main ones, they don't want too much clash happening there. It's pretty obvious. Everyone says that there's some big reveal stream happening in 2 or 3 days. So I'm imagining that they're going to be showcasing the Horus Heresy there. For a new edition, it's usually done a month out, so they'll showcase something and then they'll jump right in, unless they're going to do it like the mainline titles where they showed it off and then it took about 3 or 4 months. Given recent information that's been dropping all over Reddit, I very much doubt that though, so I expect that coming in very, very soon, shortly after the Wood Elves release. Then I could imagine the Beastmen coming in straight after, or maybe in between, it does depend. Then a quiet period coming in for both Specialist games. I do think that Age of Sigmar is due some reveal at some point soon. You know, the Chorfs have been hinted constantly. And the roadmap for 40k has been going rather swimmingly, actually. Releases are pretty consistent, which sounds weird to say. Very weird. Actually, speaking of which, Games Workshop just today have released an article saying drop minus 399 hours, so it does look like the new edition of Horus Heresy is going to release around the end of May. Which, I mean, exciting for those who like Heresy. I wanted to dabble in it a bit, but Old World is taking a lot of my time right now. So it still stands here. If it's the case that Heresy is going to be at the end of May, I could see the Beastmen being released at the same time, if not during June, because it just makes a lot of sense to keep that momentum going. They want to get as much cash coming in. It is a new financial year for them too, and they're going to try and beat the old one, because, you know, the usual stockholders, shareholders, all the usual stuff there. But they know that sales kind of start dying down a little bit during the summer because not many people are doing hobby stuff during the summer. I'm not sure how that works in other locations, but here it's basically non-existent. Events start becoming less and less common because everyone is enjoying the summer break. That leads us to Grand Cathay. Grand Cathay was revealed a fair amount of time ago, and we've still not heard much about them. In fact, I don't think we've seen all of the first wave just yet because there is a massive lack of range units and a few other things. I'm expecting another character, so this is why I think that it's going to take a while until we see Grand Cathay. It's going to be Wood Elves, Beastmen, the Horus Heresy release, maybe something for Necromunda, because I think they do something at some point soon. I mean, it's gotten pretty quiet. I still think that we are going to see them around August, September time, because if it wasn't for the case of the Beastmen being pushed back and the Wood Elves going forward, as per the roadmap that Games Workshop released, then I'd say then things would get a little bit more delayed, as we have seen a lot of delays happening, not only for the Old World, but most of the Warhammer settings. I think the factory, the new one, is still in construction. Yeah, this sounds good. At least it shows that Games Workshop are being proactive. There's loads of rumors that Old World is selling very, very well, and I'm assuming they're trying to make sure that Cathay stays in line so they can see how much a brand new faction where people don't have any models does in terms of sales and everything else. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Start with a discussion. I will be live on twitch.tv/thegreatbook of today, streaming some Total War Warhammer, doing the LUSC run. So pop by, let's talk about Total War, let's talk about the Old World, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Have a good day.